We live in a society driven by and addicted to social media. I have a chart here that highlights that. It shows the percentage of adults in the United States who use social networks as of February 2019 by age group. I start here with people aged 18 to 29 show a 90% rate of social network use. People aged 30 to 49 it drops down to 82%. It dropped to 69% for people aged 50 to 64. And when you get the people older than 65, you have a 40% use rate. The introduction of social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram has single handedly changed society and altered the way we view ourselves and other people. But is social media doing more damage than good to our youth? That's exactly what a lot of studies are concluding. According to Healthy News, they conducted a review of a decade's worth of data on roughly 200,000 teens between the ages of 12 and 17 and 400,000 young adults over 18, and it revealed young Americans may be more vulnerable to depression, distress, and suicidal thoughts or attempts than their parents' generation, and social media might be the root of the problem. Investigators found that beginning in the mid 2000s, those under the age of 26 started reporting a huge rise in symptoms related to depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. The analysis found that major depressive symptoms had affected about 8% of survey respondents under 26 back in 2011. That figure had risen to 13% by 2017, representing an increase of roughly 60%. Young girls appeared to be particularly vulnerable, with indications that major clinical depression was affecting about 1 in every 5 teen girls in 2017. Similarly, indicators of serious psychological distress, such as anxiety and feelings of hopelessness, skyrocketed by more than 70% among those aged 18 to 25. During the same time frame, a whopping 55% rise was seen in suicidal thoughts among those between the ages of 22 and 23, while actual suicide attempts doubled. No jump was seen among adults over the age of 26. The findings were published in an issue of the Journal of Abnormal Psychology. This shows young adults are experiencing mental health issues at a much higher rate than millennials were. Millennials are those born between 1981 and 1996. I think the explosive rise of social media over the past 10 years could be the culprit. There's a big difference in the way teens and young adults spend their leisure time. They spend less time with their friends in person and less time sleeping and more time on social media. Many parents believe their teens are too attached to their phones, maybe even addicted. According to Common Sense Media, teens spend an average of 9 hours a day online, compared to about 6 hours for those aged 8 to 12. That means if you assume the average of 8 hours for sleep, teens are staring at their screens more often than not. That's a troubling thing to think about. One teen said, "Every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do is check my phone and all my social media outlets. I do the same thing at night before bed, and I subconsciously click these apps and scroll through them throughout the day. I know I have a social media problem." Social media is something that happens to people every day for hours at a time. So it makes sense it would have the largest impact on their mental health, and that impact hasn't been good. The negatives don't just stop there. One study out of the University of Pittsburgh found a correlation between time spent scrolling through social media apps and negative body image feedback, sleeping problems, and symptoms of depression. Those who had spent more time on social media had 2.2 times the risk of reporting eating and body image concerns, compared to their peers who spent less time on social media. Though many teens know that their peers share only their highlight reels on social media, it's very difficult to avoid making comparisons. Everything from physical appearance to life circumstances to perceived successes and failures are under a microscope on social media. And another small study of teens aged 13 to 18 from the UCLA Brain Mapping Center found that receiving a high number of likes on photos showed increased activity in the reward center of the brain. Further, teens are influenced to like photos regardless of content based on high number of likes. The need to gain likes on social media can cause teens to make choices they would otherwise not make, including altering their appearance, engaging in negative behaviors, and accepting risky social media challenges. In conclusion, the connection between social media use and degraded mental health demonstrates the importance of the topic. The potential harmful effects surrounding social media use have profound consequences for young adults. As previously noted, teens and young adults are spending too much time on their phones and social media, which shows a link to an increase in anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, and the way we act. The importance of continued research and exploration on this topic cannot be overstated. Although social media is a powerful tool and is certainly here to stay, it is important that people understand that nothing exists without negative side effects. If young adults and their caregivers are aware of the potential harmful effects of social media use, they can create healthy social media habits to guard against these potentially damaging effects. As a wise man once said, moderation is key. Thank you.